Okay, so the last thing that we're going to learn about here in this lesson is called the mean proportional. The definition of mean proportional is when an altitude is drawn to the hypotenuse of a right triangle it splits the triangle into three similar triangles. All right, so let's talk about this. These are, they're not terribly difficult, but they take a lot of focus, all right? You have to really pay attention and you need to go through the steps of this process. So we're going to talk through the whole thing here. I'll try to keep this video as short as I can, but there's quite a bit here. So first of all, let's talk about what's happening here. So here's the right triangle, A, B, C. Okay, you can see the right angle right here. Remember that an altitude is drawn from a vertex to the opposite side and it's perpendicular to the opposite side, which is why there's a right angle right here. So this is the general picture. And so what happens is now there's three similar triangles here. There's this triangle right here, which I like to call triangle 1. There's this triangle right here, which I like to call triangle 2. And then there's the big triangle, and I literally call that the big triangle. Okay? Now, watch what happens here. I don't want you to write these numbers down, but watch what happens here. Say I took any value for this angle right here. Let's say I made it 20 degrees. Just making this up. Don't write this down. Since this is a right triangle right here, and so this would be 90, and this is 20, so since triangles add up to 180, that automatically makes that angle 70. Now watch what happens here. This is a right angle, and this piece of it is 70, so that means that this is 20. And so in this triangle, I can now get the last angle. This one is 70. And so when you have this situation, it's always going to be the case that this angle is congruent to this one, and this one is congruent to this one. So here's a process that I like to use. I like to just use colors because this will make it very easy when we redraw these triangles, and that's exactly what we're going to have to do. We're going to redraw these triangles. So what I like to do is I like to color like this one red. You can pick any color you want. This one red. If you don't have colors, you can come up with some other way of identifying them. You can use congruent angle markings if you want to. And I like to do this one's blue. And so this one's blue. And this is going to be very important in a couple of moments when I start actually working on this problem. So once you color in your angles, the next step is to realize that when you're doing these problems, you're only going to deal with 2 out of the 3 triangles. You're not going to deal with 1, 2, and big all in the same problem. So in order to figure out exactly which triangles you're working with, you want to look for the shared side. And the shared side is always going to be this one, the middle one, or this one. It's never the bottom. If this was the shared side, and when I mean how do you determine, I mean it's going to be labeled. So it's either going to have a number or it's going to be X, which is what you're looking for. So if this was the shared side, this side is shared between the big triangle and triangle 1. If it's the middle side, like it is in this one, you can see there's an X there. If the middle side is the shared side, then you're dealing with triangle 1 and triangle 2. And if it's this side over here, that side is shared between the big triangle and triangle 2. So since this one is the labeled side, it's the one that has to do with this problem. This problem deals with triangle 1 and triangle 2. So I actually wouldn't even put the big, but you can, it's not bad that it's there. Once you've identified the two triangles that you're working with, your next step is to redraw those triangles. Now, you're not going to redraw them in the same configuration that you see them in the problem because that's not helpful. We're going to redraw the triangles because that makes it easy for us to identify corresponding parts. This is the longest part of the problem, the setup. Once you have this set up, doing the actual math is really quick and really easy. This is the hard part. So notice that I redraw my two triangles, and now I'm going to draw in those angles in the same exact spots. So triangle 2 is actually triangle 1 is actually the same configuration. It's got red in the lower left and blue at the top. Triangle 2, however, I actually rotated it. I rotated it 90 degrees counterclockwise about point D to get the red and the blue to be in the same spot as the red and the blue in this triangle. You want these pictures to be exactly the same. Otherwise, it doesn't help you. Now let's put in the numbers that we see. So triangle 1 is the easiest one to see, and I see that this piece is 12, and this piece is x. So now what I want to do is I want to find the corresponding two sides on triangle 2. I forgot to draw in my right angle symbols, and those would be helpful. Let me draw those in. So in triangle 1, the 12 appears between the red and the right angle. So now I go to triangle 2, and if I look between the red and the right angle, that's x. So that goes there. In triangle 1, the x appears between the blue and the right angle. So between the blue and the right angle in triangle 2 is 4. So I'm going to label this as 4. And once you complete this, now the rest of it is very easy. Now we're back to the last lesson, which is simply to set up your proportions. So I'm going to have x over 12 equals 4 over x. Okay? X over 12 equals 4 over x. And now cross multiply and solve. This is going to be x squared equals 48. And then I'm going to round this to the nearest tenth, and that becomes 6.9. Now, the ones that I gave you in the practice, they come out to be nice numbers. Okay, I forgot to alter this one for the notes. Okay, so the most important thing then is that you make sure to redraw your triangles. This is critical. If you don't do this piece, this is going to be a lot more difficult for you. Okay, let's look at another example. And in this case, we actually have to draw our own picture. So we've got right triangle CAT. And it looks like AB is drawn from right angle A. Okay. So this is going to be B, and so this is going to be C, and this is going to be T. It doesn't matter. You could switch those. It's not a big deal. But this is the picture. I'm going to put in my right angle here since that's an altitude that's perpendicular to CT. Okay, so then what do we have? We have CB equals 8, CT equals 9. Okay, so that's this entire piece is 9. And then we want to solve for AT. Okay, so that's going to be our x. All right, so what do we have here? I'm looking for that shared side. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to put in my angles first. So that's going to be red. That's going to be red. This one's going to be blue. And this one's going to be blue. That's always the case. when you're in this situation, please don't apply this if this is not the picture. If this is not the picture, then these rules that I'm giving you don't apply. Don't overuse this. All right, so there's my shared side. Remember, it's always one of the three coming from the original right angle. It's always one of these three. It's this one on the left. Which two triangles share that side? That's going to be triangle 2, and this time the big triangle. Okay, let's get started redrawing our triangles. I draw them both exactly the same. Let me draw in my colors. Okay, so this one is going to be triangle 2, and this one is going to be triangle big. All right, here we go. We have, let's see, in triangle 2, we have between the red and the blue is X. So I'm going to mark that down. Between the red and the blue is X. And then what else do I have? I actually have this right here. I have between the blue and the right angle. If this entire piece is 9 and this is 8, well, that means that this is 1, if that makes sense. And that's between the blue and the right angle, so that means that's 1 right there. Okay, now let's look at the big triangle. I'm looking for the hypotenuse between red and blue. Between red and blue in the big triangle is this piece right here, so that's 9. And then I'm also looking between blue and right angle, and between blue and right angle in the big triangle, that's going to be this piece right here. Blue, right angle is X. So I'm going to mark that down as X. And now I just have to do a proportion. X over 9 equals 1 over X. Now I want to show you something. If you noticed, in this diagram, X was the shared side, X was the shared side. It's not always. Sometimes the shared side will be a regular number. But I want you to notice that that shared side ended up on a diagonal right here. And I want you to notice that down here, our shared side was again X, and it ended up on a diagonal. That's exactly what should happen. If your shared side doesn't end up diagonal from each other, something went wrong. Okay, so cross multiply. X squared equals 9. Take the square root of both sides. In this case, X is 3, so AT equals 3. So, draw your picture if you need to. Mark in your angles, use colors or some other way to note that this angle is congruent to that one and that one's congruent to that one. Redraw your picture so that both triangles are in the same configuration. Mark everything and then solve. Hopefully with some practice, you'll feel very comfortable with this.